Good afternoon, everyone. We are back in Regulatory Affairs Week 5 session with with the role of observational trials in herbal and nutraceuticals regulatory pathways. In previous week session, we discussed about fast-track pathways and nutraceutical, digital health and AI regulation with the help of software as medical device. In today's session, Rutuja Sundaram will deliver a session on the role of observational trials in herbal and nutraceutical regulatory pathways. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Neha. I hope the slides are visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session on the role of observational trial in herbal and nutraceutical regulatory pathway. Uh, Over the next hour, we will explore how observational research is becoming a game changer in the way natural health products are evaluated and approved. As the industry grows rapidly, regulators are demanding stronger scientific evidence, and observational trials are stepping into that space. So, by the end of this session, you will understand not only what these trials are, but how to design, analyze, and leverage them for regulatory success. This is executive summary. This session will be structured in three key parts. First, we will set the stage by examining the regulatory landscape, how global agencies like the FDA, EMA, and Health Canada are evolving. Then, second, we will dive into evidence requirements, specifically how real world evidence complements traditional randomized control trials. And finally, we will explore strategic implementation, how observational designs can accelerate market access while maintaining scientific credibility. So, think of today as a roadmap, one that bridges traditional herbal wisdom with modern regulatory science. Then current regulatory environment. So the regulatory environment of herbal and nutraceutical product is complex. Each country approaches natural products differently. Some treat them as a food supplements, other as a medicine. For example, in the European Union, herbal product fall under a traditional use pathway, whereas in Canada they are reviewed by the natural health product directorate. So this creates both opportunities and challenges. Observational studies help fill evidence gaps that strict RCT frameworks often overlook. Remember, herbal formulations are not always suitable for double blind designs. Their complexity demands more flexible evidence models. Then these are key regulatory bodies and their stance. So let's now look at how key agencies view real world data. The US FDA, under the 21st Century Cures Act, now recognizes real world evidence for decision making, a major shift toward practicality. The EMA and EFSA acknowledge traditional use and observational data for herbal product, aligning regulation with centuries of evidence. Health Canada also allows observational data for natural health product licensing, which is especially beneficial for smaller manufacturers. So this marks a clear trend. The regulators are no longer dismissing the real world data; they are actively integrating it. Then, what are observational trials? So, what exactly are observational trials? Unlike randomized trials, these studies don't assign treatments. Instead, they observe participants in their natural setting, tracking how they use a product and what outcomes emerge. This is critical for herbal and nutraceuticals because consumers often use these products alongside conventional medicine. Observational trials let us capture authentic everyday use, showing how products behave in the real world rather than under perfect lab condition. These are types of observational studies. So these are three major design you should know. First, cohort studies, which follows groups over time, excellent for understanding long term safety and effectiveness. Second, case control studies, which compare individuals with an outcome to those without, helping identify risk factor or side effects. And third, cross sectional studies, which capture a movement in time, often used for prevalence or market insights. Each serve a unique role. For example, if you are studying turmeric safety, you could use a cohort study. If you are studying rare liver effects, a case control model may be better. Then, why observational trials matter for natural products? So, natural products have centuries of traditional use, but traditional claims alone are not enough for today's regulators. Observational trials bridge the gap. They validate a traditional use with modern evidence. For moreover, herbal formulations are complex, containing multiple bioactive compounds. Observational studies can capture these synergistic effect better than reductionist RCTs. So they don't just confirm safety, they help explain why and how traditional remedies work in real populations. Then regulatory advantages of observational data. So there are three core advantages: cost effective evidence. Observational studies cost a fraction of phase 2 3 RCTs, ideal for small nutraceutical firms. Second is faster market access. Shorter timelines mean quicker submissions and earlier revenue generation. Third is real world relevance. So the data reflect actual conditions, including comorbidities and the polypharmacy, making result more generalizable. So these benefits explain why observational designs are becoming strategic tools, not just academic exercises. Then evidence hierarchy in natural product regulation. So in regulatory science, not all evidence is equal. At the top, we have systematic reviews and RCTs. Below that come observational studies. They form the middle tier. They are stronger than anecdotal reports, but more feasible than randomized trials for most herbal products. So while RCTs remain gold standard for drugs, observational studies are emerging as the practical gold for natural health claim. Then safety surveillance applications. One of the most critical uses of observational trials in post-market safety. Once a product is on shelves, observational programs can continuously monitor real-world risk. Things like adverse events, herb drug interactions, or rare allergic responses. For herbal products where user diversity is huge, this long-term tracking is invaluable. Think of it as a pharmacovigilance in action, ensuring safety doesn't stop at approval. Then key safety metrics in observational trials. So when designing an observational safety study, regulators expect a structured safety framework. Three key metrics are monitored. First is adverse event incidence. So this involves systematically recording any side effects or unwanted reactions. It is not enough to rely on spontaneous reports. Structured reporting ensures consistency. Then drug herb interactions. Many herbal user also take conventional drugs. Observational data help uncover clinically meaningful interactions. For example, ginkgo and warfarin increasing bleeding risk. Then population specific safety. So regulators pay close attention to how products behave in vulnerable groups, the elderly, pregnant woman, or patients with comorbidities. By tracking these dimensions, we generate safety evidence that mirrors real life complexity far beyond what is possible in a control lab setting. Then efficacy assessment through observational studies. So observational studies aren't only about safety. They can also show effectiveness in real world users. Two evidence types are most valuable: patient reported outcomes. So these include symptom relief, sleep quality, energy level, then or overall well-being. Insights that RCTs often overlook. Then clinical endpoints such as biomarker changes, then reduce hospital visits, then or measurable health improvements. So, for example, an observational omega 3 study might show fewer cardiac events in a long-term users, validating functional benefits claims. By combining subjective and objective outcomes, you present a holistic efficacy profile regulators appreciate. Then challenges in observational trial design. So while powerful observational trials also pose challenges, the first is selection bias. Participants who choose herbal products might already lead healthier lifestyles, making results look better than they are. The second is confounding variables, factors like diet, stress, or concurrent therapies can blur casual interpretation. And third is loss to follow up. So natural product user may drop out over time, reducing study power. So addressing these issues through careful design and statistical method is essential to ensure regulators trust the data. Then methodological consideration. Now let's talk about methodology. So this is where many submissions fail. Regulators expect a clear objective, predefined analysis plan, and comprehensive data management. Advanced tools like propensity score matching or instrumental variable analysis can correct for confounders, helping approach casual strength similar to RCTs. Remember, transparency is everything. Every step from inclusion criteria to statistical adjustment must be documented and justified. Strong methodology transforms observational data from anecdotal to regulatory grade evidence. So, this is what about methodological consideration, and this is important. Then statistical approach for observational data. So to make observational data credible, robust analytics are key. First is data collection standardization. So use a consistent forms, instrument, and training across all sites. Regulators want reproducibility. Then confounding control, apply advanced models like regression, regression adjustment or propensity score to isolate treatment effects. Then sensitivity analysis, always test how robust your findings are to different assumptions. If result hold across models, credibility source. So this is the scientific backbone that turns real world observations into actionable regulatory evidence. Then this is case study, turmeric curcumin safety assessment. So let's ground this in a real world example. A turmeric curcumin safety study, a larger scale cohort followed 15,000 participants using over 24 months, comparing them to match non-users. The study found a 0.02% risk of hepatotoxicity, extremely rare, confirming turmeric's excellent safety for healthy adults. For a regulatory standpoint, this provided high quality real world evidence that helped secure approvals in Canada, Australia, and the Europe. It also saved 2.5 million euros compared to an RCT and shortened time to approval by 18 months. So this illustrates how smart observational design can achieve credible, cost-effective outcomes. So this is what I have explained regulatory outcomes from turmeric study. Then case study omega 3 cardiovascular outcomes. So another landmark case involves omega 3 supplements. A 5-year cohort tracked 50,000 individuals, revealing a 15% reduction in major cardiovascular events among regular user. So this data was pivotal for regulatory submissions supporting heart health claims, and the result is so 78% approval success rate, 65% faster reviews, and 42% cost reduction compared to traditional clinical development. It's a prime example of how well executed observational studies can reshape both timelines and cost while preserving scientific rigor. Then electronic health records in natural product research. So in the digital era, electronic health records have revolutionized real world research. They provide massive longitudinal data sets capturing medication history, diagnosis, and outcomes. For natural products, EHRS allows us to evaluate safety or interaction across millions of users. So regulators too are recognizing EHR data, especially for post-market surveillance and comparative effectiveness studies. So by linking EHRS with the supplement purchase data, we can build we can build unprecedented real world evidence ecosystem, scalable, dynamic, and cost efficient. Then real world evidence platforms. So beyond EHRS, several real world data platforms support natural product research. First is digital health apps or digital health platforms. Continuously capture metrics like heart rate, activity, and sleep. Then pharmacy networks reveal co-medication trends and adherence. Then disease registries track outcomes in specific conditions like arthritis or diabetes. So when this system integrate, they generate rich multi-source evidence the kind regulators increasingly consider when accessing safety and benefit. Then regulatory guidance evolution. So the acceptance of real world evidence did not happen overnight. Let's look at the timeline. So 2016, the 21st Century Cures Act, USA, mandated mandated FDA to consider RWE for decisions. Then 2018, EMA RWE strategy formalized Europe's framework. In 2021, ICH E17 guidelines uh, that harmonized multi-regional trial principles, and in 2023 FDA RWE guidance that detailed how to use real world data for regulatory purposes. The trend is clear from early acceptance to structured global frameworks. So, this momentum means natural product developers can confidently design studies regulators recognize and value. Then, study design considerations for regulatory success. So, strong design is the foundation of regulatory acceptance. A brilliant data set means little if the design is weak. So, first, clearly state your primary objective. What precise regulatory question are you answering? Next, choose a meaningful comparator. This could be a match, cohort, historical control, or natural history data, whichever best reflects the untreated state. So, when essential design elements, when preparing submission, agencies look for four cornerstones: a clear primary objective tied directly to a measurable endpoint, then an appropriate comparator group, sometimes historical, sometimes propensity matched, an adequate sample size determined by robust power calculations, and standardized data collection tools, validate questionnaires, then calibrated device, consistent procedures. If even one of these pillars is missing, credibility drops. So think of this as your regulatory checklist. Meet all four, and you have crossed half the journey toward approval. Then participant selection and inclusion criteria. So next comes this participant selection. Define your target population carefully: age, range, health status, baseline severity, and concurrent therapies. Regulators expect this clarity because it influences generalizability. So then set exclusion criteria: safety, contraindications, high risk conditions, or prior exposure that might bias outcomes. The art lies in balance. Include enough diversity for real world relevance, but exclude those who could distort results. Document every criterion. Transparency builds confidence that finding truly reflect intended users. Then data quality and integrity requirements. So data quality is non-negotiable. Use standardized case report forms and electronic data capture system to minimize transcription errors. Implement quality assurance checks, regular monitoring, visit audit trials, and source data verification. Maintain secure database, which backups and access controls. Remember, herbal studies often run across many small clinics. Lastly, pre-specify statistical analysis plan and ideally commission an independent review. So good science is transparent science. Regulators must see even a step from data entry to inference. Then ethical considerations in observational research. So though non-interventional observational studies still carry ethical duties, participant must give informed consent, fully understanding how their information will be used. Data privacy is paramount. Adhere to frameworks like GDPR or HIPAA equivalents. Even without interventions, have a safety monitoring protocols to record and report any adverse findings, and of course secure ethics committee approval before initiation. Ethical rigor not only protect participants, it protects your study credibility in the eyes of every regulator. Then informed consent in observational studies. So let's unpack consent further. The scope should clearly describe data collected, follow frequency, and possible sensitivities. Data privacy clauses must outline rights to withdraw or request deletion, include contact points for queries or complaints. So this builds trust. Finally, outline safety monitoring steps even if risk is minimal. Transparent communication converts the participants into partners, and regulators notice when consent forms reflect respect. Then international harmonization efforts. So regulation is becoming global. Bodies like the International Council for Harmonization are aligning definitions, terminologies, and evidence standards. Harmonization means a study accepted in one region can support filing elsewhere, reducing duplication. Working groups are developing unified guidance for real world evidence evaluation, paving the way for smoother cross border submissions. For companies, this translates to efficiency, one robust study, multiple markets. Then regional regulatory variations. So, despite harmonization, regional nuances remain. In North America, the FDA and Health Canada emphasizes RWE and offer streamlined routes. Europe's EMA recognizes traditional use pathway, while EFS access health claim substantiation. Across Asia Pacific, agencies like TGA Australia and PMDA Japan are drafting natural product guidance, and in Latin America, Brazil and peers increasingly accept observational data for traditional medicine. So, understanding these differences helps you tailor dossier region by region, a key to global reach. Then, technology integration in observational trials. So, technology is revolutionizing observational research with AI and machine learning. We can detect subtle safety signals and predict adherence trends. Automated tools clean data sets in real time, reducing human error. Wearables feed continuous streams from heart rate variability to sleep cycles, enriching outcome measures. For herbal studies, tech bridges ancient remedies with modern analytics, giving regulators confidence that evidence meets 21st century standards. Then digital health technologies. So three frontier tools deserve special mention. AI powered analytics. So, uncover hidden correlations across a vast observational data sets. Then, wearable devices objectively record physiological response, no recall bias, pure real time data. Then, blockchain technology secures data integrity, offering immutable audit trials and privacy preserving sharing. So, together, these innovations transform how we collect, verify, and trust real world evidence. For regulators, digital transparency equals scientific trustworthiness. Then this is cost effective analysis of observational trials. So, when planning any research, the question always arises, is it worth the investment? So, observational trial consistently show strong cost benefit ratio compared with the randomized control trials. They require small budget, no placebo manufacture, no blinding logistics, fewer visits. So timelines are shorter too, often cutting 12 to 24 months of development. So despite lower cost, they still deliver high impact regulatory data. So this combination of affordability, speed, and real world relevance is why so many herbal and nutraceutical developers are adopting observational models as their primary evidence strategy. Then return on investment for natural product companies. So let's put numbers behind the value. So a 67% cost reduction compared to phase 3 RCTs means significant resource saving, funds that can be redirected to marketing or a new formulation. Product supported by strong observational data enjoy up to 15 million euros additional market value, um, thanks to faster entry and credible health claims. And with 24 months faster time to market, companies can start generating returns sooner while competitors remain in trial phases. So, observational evidence isn't just a regulatory shortcut, it is a business growth strategy that balances compliance with a commercial speed. Then, these are common pitfalls and how to avoid them. So, of course, every approach carries risk. Let us discuss the frequent pitfalls. First is inadequate sample size. If your cohort is too small, effects might be missed. Always run power calculation. Selection bias. Ensure a diverse recruitment to avoid over representing a specific uh, demographics. Then poor data quality, incomplete or inconsistent records quickly erode credibility. So to avoid this, build a quality checks into your protocol. Train sites rigorously and document every assumption. Remember, regulators forgive limitations if they are disclosed, but not hidden weaknesses. Then quality assurance framework. So high quality data comes from high quality system. A robust quality assurance framework includes regular audits, standard operating procedures, and independent oversight. So, this ensures that data integrity, confidentiality, and traceability are maintained from start to finish. Think of QA not as a paperwork, but as the skeleton that supports your study's credibility. When agencies review your submission, they often check QA documentation first. It signal scientific discipline and regulatory maturity. Then best practice for study conduct. So let us highlight best practices that consistently yield success. First is protocol development. Define every objective endpoint and analysis plans before starting. Pre-specification eliminates bias. Then site training. Invest time in training. Ensure every investigator understand how to collect consistent high quality data. Then ongoing monitoring, schedule interim checks to catch issue early. Prevention is cheaper than correction. Independent oversight, external data monitoring committee, and statistical analysis by independent biostatisticians. Follow these four pillars, and your observational trial will stand up to even the toughest review committees. Regulatory submission strategy. So, submitting observational data requires as much strategy as generating it. So, start with pre submission engagement, meets regulators early through scientific advice meetings. This clarifies expectations and avoids rework. Then prepare a comprehensive submission package. Include your full protocol, statistical plan, study report, and regulatory justification, explaining why observational data are appropriate. Remember, communication is the key. Regulators don't just want results, they want context, why this design, how bias was managed, and what confidence intervals imply for consumers. Then scientific advice procedure. So here is how the scientific advice process typically unfolds. First is initial request. You submit a briefing document outlining objectives, methodology, and key questions about 3 to 6 months before starting. Then agency review. Regulator analyze your proposal and return feedback within 60 to 90 days. Then scientific meeting. You discuss points of uncertainty face to face or virtually. Final advice. You receive a written confirmation detailing agreed approaches. So these stepwise dialogue not only aligns expectations but significantly boost your chance of downstream acceptance, because you are building your plan with the regulators, not for them. Then documentation requirements for regulatory success. So every accepted dossier shares three core documents: study protocol, the blueprint outlining design, population data capture, and analytic strategy. Then statistical analysis plan. These explain exactly how data were processed, adjusted, and validated. And third one is clinical study report, a comprehensive narrative and result summary structured per ICH E3 guidance. So together this form your evidence story. Each must be detailed, consistent, and cross-referenced. A regulator should be able to reconstruct your study's logic simply by reading these three files. Clarity is power. Then post-market surveillance application. Um, the job isn't over after market entry. In fact, post market observational studies are increasingly mandatory. So they track long term safety, confirm real world effectiveness, and detect rare adverse events missed during pre approval phases. Think of it as a continuous learning. Your product stays under gentle observation, ensuring it remains safe as usage scales. So this proactive stance signals to regulators that your company values pharmacovigilance, turning compliance into trust. Then pharmacovigilance integration. So now let's explore how observational trials fit within pharmacovigilance. So there are four major functions. First is signal detection. Automated algorithms scan databases for unusual event pattern. Then risk assessment. Epidemiological tools quantify the magnitude of any detected risk. Then risk communication. Transparent reporting to healthcare professional and consumers, and risk mitigation, adjusting labeling, dosage, or contraindications if necessary. So this closed loop of detection, evaluation, action ensures ongoing safety oversight. So it's how modern regulators expect herbal and nutraceutical firms to behave responsibly and transparently. Then comparative effectiveness research. So beyond safety and single product efficacy, regulators increasingly want to know how does this product compare to others. So that is where comparative effectiveness research comes in. Observational studies can compare your herbal formulation against standard treatments or competing natural interventions in real world conditions. Unlike RCTs that test ideal efficacy, CER answers practical questions: which option performs better for patients in everyday use. So this evidence influences not only regulators but also payers and clinicians when recommending or reimbursing products. In essence, CER turns real world data into strategic differentiation, showing where your product truly adds value. Then health economics integration. So let's connect outcomes with economics. Observational data enable health economic evaluations, proving not just that a product works, but that it is worth it. For instance, natural intervention users show an average 32% cost reduction in healthcare expenditure. Now, that is about 847 euros saved per patient annually, with 18% better quality of life scores. Such findings resonate with the health technology assessment agencies, helping secure reimbursement and formulary inclusion. So, pairing clinical outcomes with the cost data transforms your dossier from scientific proof to business proposition, crucial in a value driven healthcare system. Then, future regulatory trend. So, regulatory landscape is evolving faster than ever. We are seeing a shift toward adaptive technology enabled frameworks. Agencies now embrace AI assisted analytics, digital biomarkers, and patient centered endpoints. So, traditional evidence hierarchies are giving a way to blended models combining RCT's observational data and digital insights. Um, Then emerging regulatory frameworks. So emerging frameworks revolve around three pillars. Digital health integration. Regulators are crafting a pathway for apps, wearables, and connected supplements that continuously stream outcome data. Then patient-centric endpoints. Future approvals will focus on live experience, symptom relief, mobility, emotional well being. Then adaptive regulatory approaches, flexible rules that evolve as evidence accumulates rather than freezing standards early. So this shift recognizes that innovation outpaces legislation. So framework must be agile. For developers, it means regulatory engagement becomes ongoing, not one of submission, but a dialogue throughout the product life cycle. Then global market access implications. So observational evidence also drives global market access. Today, HTA bodies, that is Health Technology Assessment, increasingly accept real world data when evaluating cost effectiveness and inclusion on a public reimbursement list. Uh, Mutual recognition agreements and harmonized templates allow evidence generated in one region to support filings elsewhere. So, this creates enormous efficiency. One high quality observational trial can open doors in multiple markets. So, for herbal brands aspiring to international reach, investing in a globally aligned observational research delivers both regulatory credibility and commercial um, scalability. Then industry perspectives and adoption. So let's hear the industry voice. A chief medical officer from a leading nutraceutical company recently stated observational studies are now essential to our regulatory strategy. They provide cost effective evidence that supports a global market access. Similarly, head of regulatory affairs remarked real world evidence has transformed our approach to post market surveillance and life cycle management. So, these testimonials reflect a clear trend. Observational research has moved from optional to operational. Companies that embed RWE early enjoy smoother approvals, stronger claims, and greater consumer trust. Then training and capacity building. So, um, success in observational research depends on human expertise. As demand rises, there are growing need for specialized training in design, analysis, and regulatory science. Institutions are launching certification programs covering study conduct, bias control, and data governance. For organization, investing in staff training ensures consistent quality and compliance across studies. Remember, technology can process data, but skilled scientists interpret it. Building capacity now will future proof your organization in an evidence first marketplace. Then essential competencies. So to excel, teams must be master three competency domains. So first is study design, understanding observational methodologies, minimizing bias, and crafting credible protocols. Second is regulatory science, deep familiarity with submission requirements and regional nuances, then statistical analysis, proficiency in casual inference tools like propensity scores, regression adjustment, and sensitivity testing. So, when these skills combine, your team can plan, execute, and uh, defend observational evidence confidently before any review board. Then implementation roadmap. So let's walk through a typical roadmap. Month 1 to 3, planning phase, finalize protocol, consult regulators, gain ethics approval, and select sites. Then month 4 to 6, study initiation, activate sites, train teams, start recruitment, capture baselines, then 7 to 24 months data collection, follow visits, monitoring, interim analysis, then 25 30 months analysis and reporting, lock database, run final stats, compile report, and submit dossier. So this timeline shows observational research isn't vague, it's structured, predictable, and deliverable within strategic business horizons. Then, key success factors to wrap the roadmap, note three key drivers of success. Stakeholder engagement involve regulators, investigators, and patient groups early to align expectation. Then robust infrastructure invest in a trained personnel, secure databases, and clear SOPs. Then strategic planning connect research objectives to market and business goals. When engagement, infrastructure, and strategy intersect, your observational program moves from theory to tangible regulatory impact. So these aren't just check boxes, they are the pillars that sustain credibility across every phase. Then measuring success. Now that we have discussed design, conduct, and strategy, how do we measure success? So, three indicators tell us whether an observational program truly worked. First is regulatory acceptance, 85%. Did the data meet submission standards and gain approval? Then market access, 73%. Did the product achieve authorization or secure health claims? Then cost effectiveness, 92%. Did it deliver value versus conventional RCTs? So these metrics show observational trials aren't just about science, they are about strategic efficiency. So each percentage reflects a trust earned, market unlocked, and investment maximized. Then conclusion and key takeaways. So let's bring everything together. Strategic opportunity. Observational trials offer a cost-effective path to credible regulatory evidence. Regulatory acceptance. Global authorities increasingly recognize real-world data as a valid support for a natural product. Then quality is critical. Rigor in design, analysis, and transparency is non-negotiable. And finally, the future is evidence-based. So companies that embrace these methods today will define tomorrow's standards. So whether you are a researcher, a regulator, or entrepreneur, remember observational trials are not the alternative, they are becoming the expectation. The future is evidence based. We are entering a new era where every claim from a turmeric capsule to an omega 3 oil must be backed by measurable outcomes. Observational trials bridge ancient wisdom and modern accountability. They allow us to honor tradition while satisfying science. As technology, analytics, and harmonization expand, real world evidence will guide both innovation and regulation. In short, the credibility of natural products will no longer rest on belief, it will rest on data. So, thank you all for being a part of this session. I think we have traveled from regulatory frameworks to practical study design, statistical tools, and future trends, a comprehensive journey through the world of observational trials. I hope you now see how real world evidence can bridge traditional knowledge and modern science. So let's open the floor for questions. Over to you, Neha.
Thank you, ma'am. There are some questions. First question is, how can observational trials ensure scientific credibility and minimize bias, especially when randomization is not possible?
Rest on methodological transparency, predefined protocols, standardized data collection, and advanced statistical corrections like propensity scores and sensitivity analysis. So independent oversight, ethics approvals, and data audits also reinforce reliability. So when methods are clear and reproducible, regulator view finding as a trustworthy.
Another question is, what are the key challenges smaller nutraceutical companies face when implementing large scale observational studies?
Large scale observational studies about what? Can you repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am. What are the key challenges smaller nutraceutical companies face when implementing large scale observational studies?
Okay, so I think the trend is, irreversible. Evidence based validation will become mandatory. Agencies worldwide are moving toward hybrid models, blending RCTs, observational data, and digital analytics. So companies that start integrating real world evidence today will be leaders, not followers in tomorrow marketplace. So yeah, I think nutraceutical for nutraceuticals it is mandatory.
Thank you, ma'am. It was nice presentation. Thank you.